So as you all know, this gas agreement was signed in April 2019 by the then Petroleum government. When we came in a month later, after the signing of the gas agreement, we had a look at the agreement and we thought we should ask for a few additional benefits on our own account as a government so that we could also have a footprint in the gas agreement. And there were 5 things that we asked for, and out of the 5, Total on behalf of the project partners agreed to 4 in principle. And those are agreements in principle, but I can see Total already making serious efforts to implement some of those things, which is pleasing to see. And those 4 benefits include participation in shipping. Number 2, maximize national content. Number 3, increased provisioning of forex in Papua New Guinea, which could be negotiated with the Bank of Papua New Guinea. And number 4, down the track, ownership of pipeline infrastructure by the state and its agencies. So those were additional gains in favor of the state and its stakeholders. For this particular project, there are some special features about this project, and Julian has already spoken about it. It's a fully integrated project. This FEED, announced tonight, will cover upstream, pipeline, and downstream processing to shipping. The project resources available to us, proven, include about 1 billion barrels of oil and about 60 CF of gas. We will have an annual production of about 6 million metric tons of LNG plus oil. This particular project is the first globally to re-inject carbon dioxide back into the wells after the gas has been extracted. So that's a big step forward, and it's an example to all other projects all around the world because nobody else has done it up to now. The other special feature of this LNG project will be the use of e-trains. Thank you, Richard. E-trains will use electricity instead of gas, and you can already see the positive benefit. It won't be creating carbon, but the electricity that the facility will use electricity that's sourced from electricity generated from green energy, and that will be organized. So that is a special feature of the project. As for the benefits, it's going to be for this country. There will be substantial benefits for the country. Firstly, it will be a major boost to our economy and a boost to the gross domestic product of our country. It will provide foreign exchange, which we've been struggling with in contemporary times. It will create a major increase in government revenues, consisting of development levies, production levies, which is unique to the Papua LNG project, dividends and taxes, royalties to the landowners, will create employment. It will be training young Papua New Guineans, create contract opportunities for Papua New Guinean companies, and very importantly, during the FEED stage in 2023, this year alone, the project will be spending over 500 million kina in the next 9 months or so. That's a lot of money, and that will also result in forex entering the country in order that kina can be made available for local expenditure. So that's a very positive thing. During the project construction phase, the project will spend up to 2 billion kina locally. So that's for business planners in the country to work out how to participate. So all in all, this project will be a catalyst for big economic growth and also for future of the gas industry in this country. So some issues that I want to touch on in respect of the project before I wind up. Julian has referred to the 7th E-train. The partners in this project have now opened up an opportunity for Kumul Petroleum Holdings on behalf of the state to possibly build a 7 E-train within the processing plant facility. In our view, we feel that that opens up the future to the LNG industry and projects within this country, because Kumul Petroleum already holds a number of licenses over stranded gas fields. The stranded gas fields in total host about 5 TCF of gas. And we know Papua holds 6 TCF. If all these stranded gas fields hold 5 TCF, that's very close to 6, and could possibly build 2 or 3 additional E-trains, all things working out well. And we think that one day the current projects, when they run out, then this the opening of this opportunity to Kumul Petroleum to build this E-train will also see to the longevity of the LNG industry in this country when those stranded gas fields are brought on stream. So that's a very pleasing development, and I am pleased to hear about that aspect from Julian tonight. On national content, of course, this country will naturally expect maximized national content, participation. Generally speaking, whatever can be done by Papua New Guineans and by Papua New Guinean companies must be done by Papua New Guineans and Papua New Guinean companies. Because clearly national content is a big part of the expectations of the people and the state, and we will be keenly monitoring that, and already I can say the outlook looks good. We working closely with Total to make sure that we do achieve that particular benchmark. So I look forward to continuing with working with Julian, myself, and Minister Maru, and other ministers in government. We can work together with you on that one. Thirdly, presently we have a foreign currency deficit in the country, and your intention to bring in about 500 million kina for feed is very much appreciated. I'm sure to get the kina you will be bringing in the forex, and we would be very grateful if that forex is brought in at the earlier, so that we can have some early relief to our pains on the forex deficit in this country. So that's something that we leave to Total, and of course I'll be happy to speak to you from time to time on that. And then we have Pinyang there sitting in the background. The Pinyang gas agreement has already been executed, and the intention has always been that the construction is back to back with the construction of the Papua LNG project. So everybody's agreed to that. Just a question of implementation and how we do it, and we need to maintain a discipline so that that objective can be achieved in due course. For our local stakeholders, especially Gulf Province, Central Province, they'll be looking forward to the Development Forum. I want to assure the 2 governors and members of the PEC and Assembly members who are here, plus our landowners, that we will enter into that at the earliest, and most probably around the third quarter of this year. The Total has completed its clan vetting process already. My department has received it, we've checked it, and as soon as the checking is completed, then I will be doing the gazettal of those as ministerial determinations, and that will pave the way. The gazettal of the determinations will pave the way for us to engage in the development forum, where we talk about how we share the benefits of this project domestically within ourselves as the state and all its stakeholders. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and it's my hope that we can complete that before the project moves to the FID stage towards the end of this year or early next year. So I'll be working closely from now on with Governor Rufina Peters and Governor Chris Iveta to make sure that that process is complete. And of course we will ask the Prime Minister's support for funding, and I know that the budgetary provision has already been made, so if that can be released to us, then we will get the development forum underway. So all in all, it's been a great journey, but you know, we can't get this far without the hard work of a lot of people, and it is proper that I offer a number of thank yous, especially to Patrick Puyene, the President of Total Energies, Julian Bujep, the Senior Vice President, John Mark, our country boss of Total, and all the hardworking team members of Total Energies. Please give them a hand. All the joint venture partners, present and future, have all been working in collaboration. They've encountered some very tough issues, but at the end of the day, they've always been practical and reasonable with each other, and so tonight is able to take place. So I extend a word of thank you to ExxonMobil, Peter Laden and your team, thank you. To Santos, Brett, your team, thank you. Kumul Petroleum, Wapusong, your team. JX Nippon and MRDC, Augustine Manu and your team. Thank you very much for your very constructive and positive collaboration which has led us to this point tonight. I also want to extend a word of thank you to my own department and the hardworking members of our department, headed by Secretary David Manau. And a very big thank you to Honorable Prime Minister James Marape, who's always been available at any time of the week or day to lend his support to this project moving forward. So I thank him for that big effort, and also thank members of the cabinet, who are some of whom are here tonight, for the support that you had given at the cabinet level, and to all members of parliament who supported this project. And by extension, I extend this thank you to all members of the provincial executive councils and provincial assemblies of both Gulf and Central Province, who supported their respective governors so that we could move to this point. Final word of thank you in particular to Governor Chris Iveta from myself. All these issues can be very tricky sometimes, but he's been a very stable and steady hand behind myself, and always been very helpful, and so we've made a lot of progress. And working very closely with him always has been member for Kikori, Honorable Soro Yowe. Please give them both a hand. They've always had to reconcile their local issues before we can move it up to the upper levels. And sometimes it's very challenging, very difficult, but I find them to be very practical and always reasonable. So thank you very much, Governor Haibeta and Minister Iowe. Thank you. And also to the member for Kerema, the Vice Minister for Petroleum and Energy. I haven't seen him tonight. Oh, he's there. Oh, he came in quietly. Thank you, Vice Minister, Petroleum and Energy. He's always been working with me to make sure that together we deal with all these issues to support the project going forward. So thank you, Honorable Thomas Opa, for your very kind support. In conclusion, I want to say this represents a very exciting moment for our country. This project is fully supported by the government, all the provincial governments, the districts, and the local landowners, many of whom are here tonight. So going forward, I would ask all of our stakeholders on the state side and also the project partners, let us stand united and support Total Energies as the operator of this project on a quick march going forward to first gas in 2027. With that, thank you so much. Thank you all for coming. And let's look forward to an exciting time in front of us. Thank you.